Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since we posted a video, but we are back and we have so many lined up for you. So in today's video, we are going to walk on the ocean floor at Hopewell Rocks in New Brunswick, Canada. My cousin Kelsey is joining Greg and I for this video. Hopewell Rocks is situated on the Bay of Fundy, home of the world's highest tides. In this video, we'll share our top 3 tips for visiting Hopewell Rocks, as well as give you a tour of the rocks with their famous flower pot rocks, where you can walk on the ocean floor when the tide is out. We'll share with you the amenities at the park and the museum, as well as what it looks like when the tide is in too, so you can see where you were just walking on the ocean floor be completely submerged underwater. Hopewell Rocks is about a 40-minute drive outside of the city of Moncton, New Brunswick. It's a popular tourist attraction each year, as these are very powerful tides and it's a great opportunity to get to walk on the ocean floor itself. So let's get into it. We're going to kick things off immediately with tip number 1. Check the tides before you go. Greg and I have made this mistake in the past of not checking the tides before we go to Hopewell Rocks. If you want to be able to walk on the ocean floor itself, the access to the ocean floor is dependent on the tide and if it's in or out. If the tide is in, you could be looking at a 6-hour period for it to go back out. On Hopewell Rocks website, they update the tide times daily for you to be prepared for your visit. Once you arrive to Hopewell Rocks, you'll have to pay admission. For 2024, the admission rates are $15.85 for adults, $13.59 for seniors and students, and $9.06 for children. Your admission is valid for 2 consecutive days so that you can come and go from the park if you wish to see it at both high and low tide, which we highly recommend to do either the same day or the next day. There's a visitor center and restaurant after you pay to get in, but we'll show you that a little later in the video. There is quite a walk to the rocks itself, but there are other options to get to the rocks, which we will cover here shortly. For the walk to the rocks, there are so many beautiful trails and lookout points along the way that we highly recommend the walk at least once if you are able to. It's nice to walk along the beautiful trees and get to stop at various places to look out over the ocean.
It's very busy here today because it's tourist season.
This is Kelsey.
She likes long walks on the beach and coloring, and she's single.
Yes. We'll make this a dating ad.
Yes. See, look at that. She posed.
Once you get to the rocks, there are quite the stairs to go down. There's about 100 stairs, but there are 3 landings if you would like to stop and take your time and check out the view at each one. There's a ramp that would work for wheelchairs, however, the ocean floor itself is both quite rocky and muddy and would pose a challenge. Here's where we get to the very important tip number 2. Once you get down to the ocean floor, as I said, there's a lot of rocks and mud, but heavy emphasis on the mud. So tip number 2 is to wear your ugly, comfy shoes. Any shoes that you think you can do lots of walking in, but that you won't be upset if they get ruined by the mud. Again, I made this mistake for you when Greg and I visited Hopewell Rocks back in 2017 for his first time. I wore my cute new sandals and wound up stuck ankle deep in the mud. He also put me in the mud first, so there's that too.
I was taping you from above.
Looking down for sure.
Yeah.
Looking at my Hopewell Rocks.
All right, Kelsey, you're walking on the ocean floor.
I am.
Well, when you hit the wet part. As you can see, wear your ugliest footwear because it's all mud and rocks when you come here.
Walking along the ocean floor, you'll notice the ocean here is brown. There's an explanation for that too. The Bay of Fundy tides are strong and constantly moving. As they flow over the mudflats, this causes sediment in the water, which isn't able to settle as the water keeps moving. So this is what gives it its chocolate milk coloring. The famous flower pot rocks are sea stacks caused by the tidal erosion and are 40 to 70 feet tall. They're rocks formed out of mud, sand, and smaller rocks that were eroded by glaciers and rain. Sadly, in 2016, one of the famous rocks here at Hopewell Rocks, known as Elephant Rock, collapsed. Luckily, no one was down there at the time.
The rocks fell a couple years ago. Should we go under there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what makes the Bay of Fundy the biggest tides in the world? Well, it starts with the gravitational pull of the moon and sun like all tides, but the shape of the Bay of Fundy helps too. It acts like a funnel, causing the tide to rise higher. The tidal records here are 53 feet high, which is over a 3-story building. 160 billion tons of water flow into the bay twice each day, so they're pretty impressive. You're not able to swim at Hopewell Rocks, but you can dip your feet in the ocean when the tide is out. Once you are done your adventures on the ocean floor, you can climb back up the stairs and there's places to wash off your feet. And you'll definitely want to do that. The area is also dog friendly if the dogs are on a leash.
No! You are evil. You are evil. Legionnaires. Gonna whip my mouth.
Now we'll get to tip number 3. Take advantage of the shuttle. I know I told you earlier it's worth the walk on the trail at least once, but that being said, if you want to go back and forth to the rocks when the tide is out and then later when it's back in, that's a bit of walking back and forth, potentially in the summer heat. The shuttle has a little station to drop you off and only costs $2 to use the shuttle service, but it is $2 per trip, so one way. This may make it easier for some to come and go to the rocks as you please. Down by the rocks, you'll find a small cafe to eat at with limited snack items and vending machines, and there are lots of outdoor tables and a first aid station, but hopefully you won't need that. We did go back and forth a couple of times to the rocks here so that we could see the rocks in high tide as well and see where we were just walking, now submerged underwater.
So the tide should now be in, so we are making our way all the way back to the rock to be able to see all the water there now.
They're making fun of me.
You are also able to do kayak the rock tours at certain times during high tide. You are not able to bring your own kayaks and kayak on your own, but you can through this tour, and it was cool to see them kayaking around the rocks.
Oh, there we go.
Back up at the entrance, after walking the trail back again, you'll find a restaurant called High Tide Restaurant if you would like to sit and have a bite to eat while you wait for the tides to change. We also have taken a picnic lunch here in the past, and there are lots of picnic tables to eat at. There's also a museum and interpretive center where you can learn more about the rocks, how the tides work, and any other information about the local area. As with any tourist destination, there's also a gift shop here where you can buy your souvenirs for walking on the ocean floor. Outside of the main building, there are more picnic tables and a playground. Well, there's your tour of the Hopewell Rocks tourist destination in New Brunswick, Canada. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we would greatly appreciate if you would hit the like button and subscribe to follow along on our next adventure. Thanks for watching!